You are an autumn eternal spirit. The eternal spirit will not die, should not die, and cannot die. This truth, if accepted, will put an end to all the materialistic desires one has and pave path to Babaji, the eternal mystic bliss. All that is born must die. Rebirth is certain for the dead, hence do not grieve. If the spark of divinity in man is realized and made the basis of human existence, all sorrows will vanish and nothing but peace, Shanti, will remain when Jivatma, the human spirit, contacts the Paramatma, the universal spirit. With humble salutations to the feet of Supreme Guru, heartfelt gratitude to MAHAVATAR Babaji, who inspired us to make this video, guided us in every step of its making. Yoga is an ancient science of God realization, leading to the union of Jivatma with the Paramatma. There is a clear reference in Hindu scriptures Gita that yoga or kriya was taught to Vivasvat, who passed it to Manu. He instructed Ikshvaku, and thus it was learnt by succeeding royal sages. Kriya is a precious gem in the crown of Indians' cultural heritage. Little was known about the life and the physical frame of Kriya Babaji, who is also called Nagaraj Babaji. In the year 203 AD, on 30th November, Nagaraj Babaji was born in the Nambudri family on a full moon day with Rohini star in Parangipettai, Tamil Nadu, India. He was kidnapped at the age of 5 and was sold to a rich merchant. Later, he was released from his kind master, and then he wandered with numerous sannyasis and learned Indian scriptures. With the help of his guru, Boganathar Siddhar, he learned various forms of yoga and reached Kautalam. There, Kriya Babaji performed immense penance to acquire the knowledge of Kriya Kundalini yoga techniques from Agasthyar. As time passed, Agasthyar was pleased by Nagaraj Babaji's dedication and granted Babaji a boon. Agasthyar directed Kriya Babaji to Badrinath for attaining Nirvikalpa Samadhi for the welfare of mankind. Nagaraj Babaji, at the age of 16, attained his Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Kriya Babaji always had deep lasting faith in the emancipation of mankind through Kriya. He is the one who initiated Acharya Shankaracharya into the mysteries of Kriya Yoga. In the medieval period, around 15th century, many eminent saints adorned Kriya Yoga from different parts of India. Of these, Kabir Das, the master yogi of Banaras, was also initiated by Babaji. All these clearly shows that the age of Babaji exceeds many centuries. The 19th century was marked as the beginning of modern renaissance with India's independence. Babaji thought that was the right time to spread the exalted gospel of Kriya Yoga, and he have chosen his favorite disciple, Lahari, for this purpose. The relationship between Lahari Mahasaya and Babaji is older than their lifetime. After the incident in Dronagiri mountains, and with the blessings of Babaji, Lahari Mahasaya attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi for 7 days. Lahari Mahasaya requested Babaji for permission to stay with him always, but Babaji persuaded him to return home and lead a life of an ideal household yogi with inner renunciation. Babaji had a conversation with Lahari Mahasaya at length about his responsibilities as a guru of Kriya Yoga. Later, Lahari Mahasaya lived for years in Banaras without much publicity in order to discharge his duty. At this point, when Babaji was in association with Mataji Nagalakshmi and Lahari Mahasaya, he proposed to shed his form and plunge into infinity. But On Mataji's request, Babaji consented to retain his physical body, which said it would be visible to a selected few only. Thus, with the intervention of Holy Sister Mataji Nagalakshmi, the Kriya Yoga movement stayed through. Jai Mataji. The Christ-like life of Lahari Mahashaya was drawing to close. Kriya Moolaguru chose Sri Yukteswar to carry on the mission and make preliminary preparations for spreading Kriya Yoga, Gospel of Happiness, to the West. During the Prayag Kumbh Mela in January 1894, Babaji, with his international mission, has given a great speech with great emotion on the need for harmonious development through Kriya Yoga with Sri Yukteswar Giri. Babaji asked Yukteswar to write a book on the unity of Hindu and Christian scriptures. Yukteswar used his Serampore residence to write this divine book, The Holy Signs. Swami Yukteswar, after waiting patiently for years, was immensely glad to welcome and train his chief disciple, Paramahamsa Yogananda. The stern Yukteswar made him get a university degree through miraculous means, thus equipping him for the future missionary work in Western countries. After years of Gurukula Vasa and sadhana, Yogananda ji attained the cosmic consciousness through the grace of his master. He found yoga school at Ranchi, Bihar in 1918 to teach Yogada. Meanwhile, Swami Yukteswar established a number of sadhu sabha centers and thereby kept the torch of Kriya Yoga burning along with his worthy disciple. In 1920 August, for the first modern Kriya missionary, Paramahamsa Yogananda left the shores of India by seeking Babaji's permissions and blessings. As a result of his Herculean labor, there are 90 branches all over the world, publishing Self-Realization magazine and the Eastern parental headquarters, Yogada Satsanga, Dakshineshwar near Calcutta, distributing Yogananda lessons for students. More than 300,000 have been initiated so far. In 1935, in response to the yogic call of Swami Yukteswar, Yogananda left India, passing through different countries on the way. On March 9th, 1936, Swami Yukteswar passed away at the age of 81, handing over all the responsibilities to Paramahamsa Yogananda Giri, who recognized the global Kriya movement on the earth. In late 1936, Yogananda returned to America and served the cause of Kriya with unabated vigor for more than a decade. Towards the close of 1951, there was a talk of his returning to India second time. But during the first half of 1952, the Kriya movement unexpectedly received severe blow when Yogananda ji, who has been leading secluded life of sadhana for months, stepped out to participate in the reception given to the Indian ambassador in America. He suddenly collapsed and his physical body, which did not decompose even after 20 days, became a sensation in America and elsewhere. Verily, to compensate the great loss, Babaji decided to evolve a Mahasaya, an abled, experienced journalist. There is no word like impossible in his dictionary. Number 9, Vogue Road by Sri V.T. Neelakantan is a book on Sadguru Ramadevi. The writer penned the note in the MO for the above publication. Instead of Dear Sir, Dear Atma was used, and Ever Yourself replaced Yours. One day, Sri Neelakantan asked for books on mysticism. He then received Autobiography of Yogi by Paramahamsa Yogananda. This created a minor revolution in his mind. He eventually became devotee of Kriya Babaji, frequently uttering his name. In spite of deep leg ulcer, he had a burning mystic enthusiasm to walk all the way from Edmore to Santhome to attend a group meditation. Exhausted Neelakantan sat on a concrete bench in the marina praying,
Babaji, will you give me enough strength to fulfill the pilgrimage?
prayer was instantly answered. He felt fresh and reached the destination. Jai Babaji. Later in the week, when V.T. Neelakantan reached Prevalation because of his wound, the leading surgeon appeared at his home with his nurse and made elaborate arrangements for the daily dressing. He also decided his diet without any charge. All glory to grace of Babaji. On Friday night, July 18, 1952, at about 1:30 a.m., V.T. Neelakantan was lying flat on his back in his sacred puja room and was in a meditative mood. No form was visible. A clear ringing voice spoke. "Are you awake?"
"Are you awake?"
V.T. Neelakantan replied yes, and the voice said,
"You have been abroad while going in a ship. The baggage is divided into two parts. One labeled as wanted and another as unwanted. The unwanted baggage is handing over to the crew. It does not mean that you will not get it back. Simply another person takes charge of it. You are an advanced soul and do not need any application. You can do much for our cause."
The talk ended. By this miraculous event, V.T. Neelakantan rushed to Santhom and narrated the experience, throbbing with emotion. He had rightly guessed the invisible person belonged to Kriya Circle and wondered whether it was Yogananda. The author said, "It may be Babaji." Likewise, there were many incidents that V.T. Neelakantan came across in his personal and family affairs. Needless to add, V.T. Neelakantan rightly saw the invisible work of Babaji's grace in these acts of providence. The author casually suggested V.T. Neelakantan may be chosen to spread the gospel of Kriya in South India where it had not gained ground. On Wednesday, July 23, 1952, at 0 hour, V.T. Neelakantan was enraptured to hear the same divine voice. From the contents of the message, he definitely concluded that it was Babaji.
"Are you awake? Listen. You were told that Kriya had not gained ground in South India. Really, it had not spread anywhere as it ought to. I have been trying to get at you all these months and oddly, now you are
susceptible." The voice was vibrating with sweet emotion of love.
"I have decided to use your pen for the cause. You will have to write 2 books. The first will be the Mysticism Unlocked and the other Kriya, the master key for all ills. A little which you like as a journalist, or you may change it to the master key to all ills. I have been tapping 2 Kriya sadhakas for you. One you know very well. The other is a lady at Adayar who has lot of money and not knowing what to do with."
V.T. Neelakantan interrupted. "What is her name?" Let's discuss in the next episode. To be continued.
దేవదేవుడవు, శక్తిమంతుడవు, పాపనాశనుడవు, ఆత్మరక్షణుడవు, స్మరణ మాత్రమున కరుణ చూపెదవు, ప్రార్థన చేకొని ఘోర కష్టముల బాపుము, నమస్కారము నీకిదే, సంస్కరింపవయ్య నన్ను మహావతార. చరణముల నంటి మిక్కిలి శరణంటిని, సన్నుతించి తినయ్యా మిక్కిలి విన్నవించితి మనసారా, మన్నించవయ్య విజ్ఞప్తిని పరమదయాసాగర, ఘోర దారుణములను నిర్మూలనము చేయవయ్యా, దిశను నిర్దేశించి మహద్దశగా మార్చవయ్యా మహావతార. తల్లి తండ్రివి నీవే, ప్రాణసఖుడవు నీవే, గురువు దైవము నీవే, ఆత్మబంధువు నీవే. విశ్వవ్యాప్తమైన మీ బోధనలు సాధనలు జ్ఞానార్థులకు సాధ్యమగు మీ కృప ఉన్న ఆశీర్వదించవయ్య మమ్ము మహావతార. బాధల రోదనల నుంచి ఉపశమనమీయవయ్యా, అజ్ఞానాంధకారము పారద్రోలి జ్ఞానజ్యోతిని వెలిగించవయ్యా. సమర్థుడవు నీవు, ఆత్మభౌడవు నీవు, పరమాత్మవు నీవు. ఉద్ధరింపవయ్య నన్ను ఘోర కష్టముల నుండి మహావతార. దిక్కులెన్ని ఉన్న నీవు మాత్రమే దిక్కు, అండదండవు నీవే మాకు అన్ని వేళలయందు. ఆధారమెవరు లేరు హితులు సన్నిహితులు, శాశ్వతము కావు ఏ బంధనములు. అనుక్షణము మాకు రక్షణ నీవు, క్రియాయోగ దీక్షా దక్ష, గౌరీ శంకర పీఠ నివాస. అనుగ్రహించవయ్యా, ఆపదలు తొలగించవయ్యా, అనాథనాథ మహావతార. ధర్మ మార్గాచరణ మార్గదర్శక, శాశ్వతానంద ప్రసాదిత, సద్గుణకారణ, శాంతి ప్రేమ క్షమ ప్రదాత. సాలోక్య సామీప్య సారూప్య సాయుజ్య స్థితినీయవయ్య, అనన్య భక్తి కలిగించవయ్యా. సంపూర్ణ మోక్ష మార్గ నిర్దేశనకర నిర్వికల్పానంద మహావతార. సర్వం శ్రీ క్రియా బాబాజీ చరణారవిందార్పణమస్తు.